SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We are previewing Week 13 in college football here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's going to cover the Indiana-Ohio State game. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, Joe, now, you take any college game that I assign you. These are all games that, you didn't ask me because, you think you have a big edge or whatever. Tell us how you do at your website when you do think you have a big edge on your premium picks.
Yeah, we're doing fantastic this year. Going back to preseason in the NFL, we're over 60% with our Wise Guy plays, and just overall plays recently 13-7, which sounds pretty good, but it's even better because we had one money line play along the way, our money line game of the year when Jacksonville beat Tennessee. That was plus 559, which puts a couple additional winners in your pocket. So it's been a great year with Wise Guy plays and majors at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right, but again, those are the plays that you believe you have a big edge on. The game we're going to talk about now, Indiana, Ohio State. I was asked to have you cover this, so we're going to cover it. Ohio State's a 34 or 34.5 point home favorite. The total's 81. We know what the deal is here. Ohio State should have a huge edge, and they do on the lines. This is going to be a high-scoring game. We knew the total was going to be in the stratosphere. It's 81. Last year's game went to 100, so, I don't know. Maybe you think that maybe a play on the over 81 is the bet here. Indiana just got rolled by 48 at Wisconsin. That was a little different. It was at Camp Randall with rainy conditions. Is Ohio State going to want to run up the score here? Probably yes, but, last week they did get a big win but didn't quite get the cover. So I feel like I've given you a coin flip game here. What do you think of these lines, Joe Duffy?
No, actually, a couple years ago, I may have thought it was more of a coin flip, but remember, it's kind of a recurring theme. There's usually one game a week that we cover here on SBR Forum where I talk about how a couple years ago, a sharp guy, someone whose opinion I respect a lot, talked me into saying, look at those teams battling for style points, especially after the BCS standings come out, when they know that in order to leapfrog a team in front of them, that team's either going to have to lose or they're going to have to leapfrog them, which happened last week. Ohio State was jumped by Baylor in the standings, even though Ohio State won. So Urban Meyer's made a big deal this week about how important it is to get those style points. And they came fairly close to covering last week, as sloppily as they played. I expect them to keep their starters in very late to try to get the cover. Part of the reason they look so bad on defense, Joshua Perry, Curtis Grant were both out last week because of injuries. Perry's probable. Grant's a game-time decision. As you said, with the total at 81, that means there's going to be tons of scoring. So all of a sudden, the 34.5 doesn't look quite as big as it would in a quote-unquote normal pace game. So Ohio State, they've got all the reason in the world to run up the score after Baylor leapfrogged them last week. This is a statement game for Ohio State.
All right, but they also have the Michigan game coming up next week. So, I'm not saying this is a look-ahead spot, but I mean, if they're up by 28 with 6 minutes to play, are they really going to be gunning to get, another touchdown?
Yeah, well, this is not one of Michigan's better years, but no, I don't think they can look that far ahead. I would agree with you that on a big high-profile game on national television, that's going to be an even bigger opportunity to make a big statement. But no, I think after they actually did lose for winning last week, they're now out of the BCS. So they're behind Baylor in the BCS title race. So I don't think there's any way they can possibly overlook their inferior opponent. Plus, they just have so much more depth, and Indiana's a team that's been getting blown out. So it is a lot of points, and as much as I don't like laying the big number, as I said, this is a statement game for the big favorite. They've got all the motivation in the world to run up the score, so I'm going to have to go with the big chalk.
All right, well, thanks for taking this game, Joe Duffy, and he is going to make an official pick on it. Ohio State minus 34. Thanks, Joe.